I'll sit down with somebody so they get coaching on this. I'll help you with the recruitment, the leadership training, talk about, well, what does it mean to be president? It's not as intuitive as you think. You know, you got to know how to host a meeting, you got to know how to keep people motivated. So we'll do all the training to make sure that someone's successful. Based on what they're trying to do, so we have like a veterans association, we have the law society. Based on what their things are, we have connections out in the community that we can get them plugged into. So the other piece that the college provides is connections. Meeting space, so we hook them up with a building or a room based on where they want to meet. When it comes down to events, we do some basic event planning, sort of coaching really. So if it's like, say you've never thrown an event before and you need some help with it, we'll do that. We'll also help provide like sound and lighting and AV and that sort of thing. We get them plugged into some money. So if you say want to throw an event or you're trying to host a speaker, we can bring it to the student government. I'll help them with that process, and then they'll, they can make a grant proposal basically and say, I want some money to do a festival. Can you help me out with it? We need this, this, and this, and I'll help them to prepare a budget. And then, they ask for the money there. So almost anything you could think of, if you need help, there's a way to make it go. And as far as, putting it back on the student organizations, they just need to have the big dream for it. So you need to have some sort of goal or motivation or something you're working towards. Then we can out. When it comes down to it, my budget, I'm part of the college, considered a part of the employee pool or whatever. So my budget comes from that. Now, for student organizations, if you want to apply for AS money, that AS money comes from every student who goes to school here puts in $5. So that $5 goes to make sure that there's money for, different heritage months or wants to do, like, for instance, commencement's coming up. At the end of commencement, there's like a little reception for the families and the graduates themselves. That money goes towards that. So they put in the money there to make sure that there's always something. So that as far as where it comes from, the annual funding is that from that $5 that everyone puts in. Whether it's 5 or 500 groups, we still want to support whatever we got. At this time, there's not really additional staff. So right now, I would imagine if there was more groups, hopefully we could get more staff to support and do more programming and that sort of thing. But for right now, it's not necessarily something that there's an actual like tax break for, or something that there's you don't really get additional money for having more groups on campus. You don't necessarily get an extra tax break. But I guess what I can say, if a campus is more alive, say you got you got a Black Student Union, you got a million other like organizations on your campus, people are going to want to come here because there's more stuff happening. And so I guess in a longer kind of way, the campus does better when there's more life to it. Because if people are saying like, oh, I saw this event here, I came to the campus, as a high school student because this group was throwing this thing I got invited to, I'm probably going to go to school there. But yeah, the Student Center, 115 is my office on this side. 115 I to be specific, because this whole thing is Suite 115, also inclusive of the AS side. Yeah. Tell them to come to the Student Center and then look for me at the Welcome Center. So a couple weeks we'll be finding out who's the new who's the new government for next year.